Good morning. Last night we received a foot of fresh snow here in West Michigan, and it was a doozy. FSD's winter performance has always been a little sketchy. It's never been great. It doesn't anticipate, slippery surfaces. It can react well, but it just doesn't predict well. And that changed here in 14.2 in the most recent update. And today I'm going to take this truck out and see what it's got. Check that out. It's a full foot, and I got to dig myself out here. Alrighty, this should be really interesting. I have zero idea what to expect here. So some really quick ground rules. I'm not going to let the truck do anything unsafe. I want to let it do its thing, but I'm not going to put myself, my truck, or other vehicles in immediate danger. I'm looking to do a couple of things today. First, I want to see FSD's lane detection when lanes are occluded, when they're under the snow. I don't think we'll see any lane markings today, so I want to see what FSD does when there are no lanes. Second, I want to see what happens when FSD slides. When FSD goes into a slide, when it loses traction, when it goes sideways and laterally, what happens? Third, I've already seen a lot of speed comparisons in the snow, and I think, I want to see more of it. I want to be confident in it. Yesterday on the highway, it was a bit fast in slushy conditions, but it's been very slow and very timid on suburban roads. So anyways, let's start. I'm going to start here from our driveway. Our driveway is just grass and dirt, and it's a really tight hairpin turn to get out of here. I normally have to do a 2-point turn to leave my own driveway. It's also covered in a foot of snow, so we are going to tap to drive, and it's not letting me start FSD. What does it say? Poor GPS location accuracy. All right, so I guess I will have to pull out manually. Yep, here's my 2-point turn. Wow, guys, this is deep snow. Our street does not get plowed for at least a day or two after a storm. So that was impressive. This is our first major snowfall of the year, so it's kind of fun to get back into it. Already, it looks like our proximity sensors are a little upset. I mean, not sensors, it's the vision. But I mean, there's snow all around. I'm driving through a foot of snow. So anyways, we are able to start full self-driving now, so let's begin. Maybe. What does it say? It won't even tell me. Already some traction loss getting out of there. We are on the main road. Poor GPS location accuracy still. There it goes. All right. We are going to put this into standard to see what happens. And we are just going to be going around town. It already says FSD supervised may be degraded, poor weather detected. And yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer, no duh. But these roads, they're bad. And we're already getting camera visibility limited warnings here. This road is a 25-mile-an-hour speed zone. I typically take it faster than that, and we are going 18 right now, which feels perfect for this. I'm going to turn on the heaters for my side view mirrors and for the windshield wiper to give myself a little more visibility. It's having trouble detecting the right side of the road. It kind of drove through the unplowed areas there a second ago. Interesting. And we're about to get a red light here first. And it looks like the city of Grand Rapids has done a really good job at plowing and salting this morning. And so this is a lot of slush. This truck is already kind of shifting sideways just a hair. It does see both lanes, which is nice. There goes one of the city plows. It's really cautious here. It is overly cautious. This feels too slow to me, but for a robot, I'm fine with it. This is great. This route is going to take us through the heart of downtown to start off with, and then we'll get back onto the other towns, the suburb area of our city. This is a pretty steep downhill. I shouldn't say steep, but we're about to get a yellow light. We are braking here. We have decent traction, so FSD had no problem. No problem at all. Interesting. Yeah, we didn't see any traction control or anything there. It was that was pretty standard because we have good tires. That's the other thing about this particular drive in this particular truck is that I've got the Tesla Duratrack, or the Tesla winter tire package. It's the Goodyear Duratracks on this truck, which, as far as I can tell, is one of the best sets of tires that you can get for this truck for all things inclement weather, off-road, all of that. There are better Nokians that are maybe studded or all of that stuff, but for dirt, for mud, for everyday driving, for snow, the Duratracks are really, really excellent. And unfortunately, Tesla just discontinued those tires this year as their official winter tire package. They're now using some Pirellis for their winter tires for the truck itself. So here we are coming downtown. Lots of snow, little bits in the road there from plows, leftover residue, big chunks. We do see lane markings through all the slush here. Yeah, this is no problem. Anyone can drive in this as long as you keep some good following distances and you're not, making too aggressive of turns. The whole idea of driving in snow is to keep it simple, to keep it not aggressive, to keep it pretty relaxed. As soon as you want to push your car, as soon as you want to do something aggressive, jam the brakes, jam the accelerator, turn too sharply, that's when you lose your traction, and that's what you don't want to do. Man, this is already, I think, too easy. This is already too easy for this truck. We are going to have to find something new. I think this is some cones there in the road. It sees those. So right in the middle of these 4 lanes is kind of like a built-up bank of slush, and even in this intersection here off to the right-hand side, FSD does seem to understand what that is. It does show it on the screen as right there. Yeah, it's a sidewalk. I don't know. It seems to be showing it somewhere. Right where we are right now, we are driving on that lane marking, and even the truck kind of knows that, but it's going pretty good through here. Still, I mean, we're going 17 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone with no one in our lane, no one around us. This feels good. Good, gentle acceleration there. Pretty good. It wants to merge left for some reason, not sure why. It might think that these lanes are converging. And yeah, it's right in the middle of both lanes, right? It knows that. It knows that. That's funny. We're getting back into the right-hand lane. Cool. So I just turned the profile up to Mad Max, and nothing changed. Nothing changed. We'll keep it in standard for most of the drive. All right, we've got a lot more of this snowplow, the snow banks from snowplows. See if it goes around this one. Oh, it hit the corner of it, but it did try to steer around it just a hair. And there was a car in the left lane in my blind spot, so it did the right thing there. And here we are getting into more of the neighborhoods around downtown, and there's a foot-tall snowbank right in the middle of this intersection, and we're going to steer right between it. Wow. All right. All right. Very cool. And then we've got an oncoming car. Let's see what FSD is going to do here. Good. I mean, it's not driving in the snowy shoulder that's unplowed, but it did give that car enough room to go by. It is hugging that snowy shoulder quite a bit. It does, I mean, there's cars parked there. This is that gray area between FSD is driving safely and FSD doesn't drive how I drive. So it doesn't drive how I want it to drive. It's still driving safe, so I can't complain. So what if I would be over a little further left? Oh well. FSD is still driving safely. Yeah, it is what it is. Ooh, a little bit of back end sliding there. That's interesting. And we were sliding at a complete stop too. That's odd. This is a 3-4 lane intersection. That sign there says the center lane goes straight, the left lane turns left, and the right lane turns right. We are currently somewhere. I think I'm in agreement with the truck here. I don't actually see where 3 lanes could be. All right, here we go. Oh, and this guy's also going straight. There are no rules in this snow. There are no rules. So this road here in particular is well plowed, well cleared, but there is a base layer of some pretty compacted slush, which essentially is ice. If you were to slam your brakes on this surface, you would slide for a bit. However, because it's not completely ice, we still have a bit of traction because we have a pretty aggressive tire. Looks like these neighborhoods have yet to be plowed. They've been driven on, but they're not plowed. So we are going to get off this main road here in a second and go check out some of those neighborhoods. Beautiful, all right. There's a snowplow there. It does recognize that as a vehicle of some kind. FSD cannot see any of the lane markings here. It's kind of inferring where they are. I can see the line through the snow, but FSD itself cannot. 14 miles an hour. Maybe I should bump it up, see what happens. I could always tap the accelerator too. I'm gonna tap the accelerator here, see if I can get it to slide in this curve. It did counter steer. I'm gonna be real there. It did slide a little bit and it did counter steer just a bit. Wow. There's a guy walking in the road here with an oncoming car. Respecting both. So what I think I have to do to get it to slide until we find some black ice is punch the throttle. As dangerous as that sounds, I might have to get it in some curves and just kind of give it some gas. Or electrons, if that's your thing. This is a roundabout, and we are also, again, driving in the edge of this plowed section, so we're technically driving in an unplowed area here. This is a small roundabout. It does understand it. Very cool. And then there's a person here. It's giving them good space. There's another person walking towards us. The truck, I hope, gives him good space. He's going to give him good space. Driving in the unplowed section. Perfect. A lot more slush here in this intersection. Come to a complete stop. Our NHTSA stop. We're having trouble getting a little traction there. It is clear. We're gonna power on through nice and slow. Another pedestrian here. It's so early in the day, 8, 9 o'clock, that none of the sidewalks have been plowed yet. So all the people who walk everywhere are just walking on the road. This neighborhood is plowed. I need an unplowed one. I don't want to plow. It took it real slow through that one. Beautiful neighborhood. Let's see if I can devise another route here, get back to an area that's unplowed. Here we go, powder. Taking it nice and slow, powering on through. No loss of traction there. Very nice. It's driving in an unplowed area, both sets of tires. And it's a stop, and then we lost our traction a bit there to start. Oop. I did not take over there, to be fair. That guy almost rammed into us. This is our first imaginary address. Who wants to park? Okay, let's go. Nope, let's go. Continue trip. All right, start. I'm gonna jam the accelerator once or twice here. Traction control kicks right in. It's almost like I'm not doing anything. When I'm pressing the accelerator, that traction control takes over so quick because there's no traction that it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything. I can press this all I want. Nothing happens. That's crazy. Alrighty. Back onto another unplowed street, and it's a stop. Good traction. This is easy. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. This is not even phasing FSD 14.2. Not even a question. This is unbelievable. Maybe it needs to be in worse conditions. If it were a blizzard, like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. This is... I'm at a loss for words, honestly. It still drives. It understands where to go. It understands what side of the road to be on and how to give people space. And we need more edge cases, I guess, to really test the full gamut of its capabilities. What happens if there's an ice block in the road that fell off a truck? You know, is it going to ram right into it? Is it going to steer around it? How does it know if it's ice or snow? What happens at 70 miles an hour if you hit black ice? It's those edge cases, but from everything that I've seen so far, when it loses traction, it countersteers, it reacts well. And in this version, it anticipates well. So I don't really know what else to expect here in this kind of scenario. There was a speed bump. I don't think it really knew it was there. There's our camera visibility blocked notification again. I think that's the front-facing camera. Yep. It's got some slush on there. Nothing too crazy. There is a guy snow plowing here, or snow blowing. We're going nice and slow past him. Unreal. So this is our second fake destination. Let's get back into the downtown areas with the smaller streets and more snow. After that, I think we might take it more into the countryside and do some faster roads out there. I want to see it slide sideways. And, oh, this is interesting. This hill, before the stop sign where we are now, is all that compacted slush, all that ice. And it took that gracefully. A little loss of traction there. But when I say loss of traction, it's not like the end of the world. Every car has to use its traction control just a bit to get where it wants to go, right? So loss of traction is not the end of the world. In fact, it's what it's supposed to do. Maybe I should put my all-terrain tires, my summer tires, back on the truck. I started this drive like worried. Oh man, FSD is going to disappoint. Oh man, FSD is going to screw up. Oh, it's going to slide into another car. Nope. Nothing. Perfection. This also makes me wonder what Model Y's performance would be. Model Y has a very short ground clearance. The truck has a very tall ground clearance. Ground clearance is arguably more important than your traction for a lot. I'm going to press the accelerator there. Aha, I got red hands, yeah. I don't actually know why that happened. I did jam the accelerator pretty well, but FSD continued to steer. What was I saying? I totally forgot. Ground clearance. Ground clearance is arguably more important than your traction, because if you can't drive over a foot of unplowed snow, you know, all these folks who, this sedan here who's blocked in, he shoveled himself out. But if you can't clear the snow, then you're trapped anyways. Doesn't matter how good your tires are. If the snow is taller than the lip of your bumper, you're stranded. It's as simple as that. Makes me wonder if I mean, they have to train FSD for the worst of conditions. Oh, this is like a one-lane road. Big snow pile there. Huh, it steered around it. So FSD has to be trained for the biggest vehicle Tesla makes, which is the truck. It has to be trained to go through a foot of snow, but I do wonder if FSD for the Model Y is trained to not drive through these big slush piles because it has a different understanding of its ground clearance. So would Model Y drive around those piles? Would Model Y not even want to drive down these streets? I have no idea. Do I think Model Y is capable of driving in these streets? Yeah, for sure. All right, we are at another destination. Let's try over here. No one's behind us. Oh. Alrighty. Uh-oh. That guy had a stop sign. I was driving there. Let's do a couple more turns here so we can try and get it to slide, and then we'll head out of town. I'm gonna jam the accelerator. There it is. All right. So I got the back end to slide more than a foot or so. While FSD was steering, I was punching the accelerator, and it threw red hands. So there is still an element, I'm thinking this through. There is still an element of supervised FSD in here. Like the taxis in Austin or in the Bay Area don't, I guess in Austin, don't have a driver. So who would take over if it was throwing red hands? It would be forced to continue on. So that might be more of like a safety limitation for now. Punching the accelerator again. Oh, blue sky, let's go. Look at that. Beautiful day, guys, beautiful day. I love living here. I'll be honest, I love living here. We get all of the seasons. We get the hard winter, we get the warm summer, we got the jet ski in the summer, we got the snowmobile in the winter. Absolutely love it. The last thing I want to be is cold and bored. Give me some snow, though. Give me some snow. Give me some skiing. Give me some snowmobiling. I'll be cold and having fun. I don't care. Give me the cold as long as I'm having fun. I do not care. Do not care. Oh, interesting. So the left, so this is kind of the parking area here. These are all parking spots on the curb. And the truck is driving in them because they're better cleared than the other part of the road, I guess. This is one of the main roads in and out of the west side of downtown, so this is going to be well cleared. Try and get it off of it here soon. This speed feels good. Speed control is good. I mentioned earlier, oh, we're merging. I mentioned earlier that yesterday on the interstate, in some little sneakier areas where it was slushy but not frozen, it kind of looked wet, but I had no idea. FSD wanted to drive pretty close to the speed limit on that surface. I manually backed off that area because out of an abundance of caution, I have my whole family in the car. I'm not taking any risk. That's the only instance of speed control that I've seen that is too fast. I'd almost argue you cannot be too slow. There's a point. You almost can't be too slow in the snow, but you can absolutely be too fast. FSD is definitely on more of the slower side of things. Looks like the guy in front of me was slipping a bit. Oh, we're in the center lane. The truck was following what the car in front of me was doing, and we were both, even the car behind me, is driving in the center turn lane. You can see it's more cleared here. The most clear lane is the turning lane, which is odd. Got our first red lights on this road. Slowing down way ahead of time. Wow. Way ahead of time. Superchargers on the right here. V3.5s. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. I want to try and get off this main road as soon as possible and see if we can't find something better. Usually FSD has pretty good lane, what do you call it? Lane courtesy? Is that what it's called? Lane discipline. Lane courtesy. Lane discipline. Where we'll ride in the rightmost lane on roads like this, unless it's passing, which is what you're supposed to. That's what the law says. You ride right unless you're passing. In this case, FSD clearly sees that there's another lane covered on our right, but it has zero interest in standard mode of actually merging over there. But that's another example of FSD knows there's a lane there, but it's reacting to the snow and choosing not to use it. Unreal. That's one of those sneakier features that had to have been programmed into the software in an event like this for it to be resilient in snow. Okay, here we go. It turned off its blinker. What normally happens here is people will just turn from this lane if that lane is blocked. Looks like it's a little less blocked here. Let's try and get over. It's real slushy, sliding around a lot, using traction control, ABS, a little bit. But it's slowing down ahead of time so much, we're already under 20 miles an hour. It's not even a problem. Wow. Perfect. Perfect. I couldn't teach someone to drive better than this. Oh, bird poop. Oh, FSD also understands that the right lane exists, but is blocked. It's using it. Like it's not a bike lane. I don't have any idea how FSD knows it's not a bike lane. Oh, we're going to attempt a right on red. Sweet. That was good. That was good. This is another good example of speed control. This street is 55 miles an hour, and we are going 34. Let me try and speed up FSD a bit. This is probably a little fast for this road. A big ice block. Okay. But it seems to be handling it well. It's doing a lot of counter steering against the slush, pushing it side to side. Whoa, little bit of side to side there. Fun. Oh, look at these birds. What a day. I will bet the road is warmer. Oh, we've got a big pile of slush in the middle of this intersection that we have to turn through. Does FSD see that as an obstacle? It sees it. Will it react to it? It's not that tall. 6 inches, 8 inches. Road is clear. It wants to drive around it. Well, it kind of goes through it. It kind of split the difference. Because there could be a world where that happens on Model Y, Model 3, and it just gets stuck. With that big battery in the center lower portion of the car, if that gets up and onto a pile of snow and compacts it down, you will just high center your car on a bunch of snow. It's kind of funny. I've done that before, more in a driveway, but yeah, you drive, across or into some deeper snow, and that compacts, and you just kind of sink. And that's enough to bring your wheels kind of up and off of the snow. You lose all traction. You have to dig yourself out. So by it kind of splitting the difference on that pile, that kind of avoids the chance of you high centering yourself on top of that whole pile if you were in a lower clearance car. Big pile of slush here. I'm going to try and keep speed through here. Kind of tap the accelerator as we go. FSD does not want to turn into it, so I will. Slipping and sliding. Heck yeah. Love it. Here we go. That was kind of weird. FSD certainly thought that the road was blocked, and it probably would have just rerouted us, which is fine. I wouldn't expect FSD to be taking those risks if it doesn't have to. This should be interesting. I don't think that was a rollback stop, but good. Climbing up and over that embankment. Oh, beautiful. For my next and I think last trick of the day, we're gonna bring it on some dirt roads. I have no idea if they're plowed, if they're cleared, but there are some dirt roads that I know of that are nearby that are usually, they're in rough shape anyways. Again, it's kind of skittish about this whole shoulder here until it's slowed enough. Oh, man. Yeah. I was actually worried. for a minute there. I was actually worried there. That was tall. That was some tall stuff. I considered stopping and putting the suspension in high mode for a minute, but I thought, let's just see what happens. That was no problem at all. It's being really cautious here, and I don't want it to. This is a 55-mile-an-hour road. Yeah, it's slowing down constantly, and these are just 2 tracks. But it is going 19 miles an hour down this hill, which is very nice. This feels good. Oh, and we're stopping. Why are we stopping? I did not press the accelerator there. It's just doing that on its own. These cleared areas, I think, are confusing it. And here we go up the hill. Not even a problem. FSD is steering around a bit. I'm trying to keep the speed up. I want to see what happens. I'm trying to push FSD a bit. Big corner here. This is over a foot of snow here. This is definitely over a foot of snow. FSD is being very cautious in this 2-track around this corner. Again, man, it's not a problem that it drives slow. It just shouldn't be driving this slow. We're gonna speed it up again. So here it does want to drive in the 2-track, which is interesting. So I just pulled into the shoulder and then started FSD again. It's interesting. Here we go, some really high banks here. Bumper definitely hit that one. Okay, we're speed up here. Bumper is definitely hitting some of these here. The snow is so deep. Wow. So it can detect the 2-track, even though it ignored it earlier. And that's where it knows where the road is. Oh, red hands. Okay. It must have slid more than it wanted to because I just took over and then pressed. Oh, there it goes again. Is it having that much trouble with traction? Or the cameras are blocked? It does say 1 or more side cameras occluded. So there are some weird... When you push it to the extremes, there are some odd behaviors. Okay, I'm going to push it a bit here. There's a hill and then a stop sign. We're turning left. Cool. Full stop. Take over immediately. All right. Let me try and clean those cameras once, see what happens. We are in Mad Max still, by the way, if that means anything to you. This is really tall here. Our bumper is definitely going to be scraping that. Can I see that on the camera? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's close. Ideally, we'd be over to the left a bit more because we are definitely scraping that. If I nudge the wheel, can I get it? Oh, yeah. Pushes through that without a problem. Sweet. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Yeah, so maybe if the side cameras are blocked and it's trying to make a turn, it can't see like where the wheels are going. It can't see if it's going to run over like a small something in the road if the cameras are blocked. So that kind of makes sense. Driving through a lot of powder there. It's starting to This is so weird. It's trying to drive around dirty snow, I think, but not like real piles of snow. Oh, okay. Try to avoid a big pile of snow there. Is it listening? I don't I can't quite tell where it ooh. Alrighty. Well, I think that's, this has all been very, very interesting. My takeaways are that speed control is definitely on the slower side. It still has some issues of the red hands when you push it into the extremes that need to be ironed out, because it's still capable. It knows it's still capable, but it's not actually, it's not letting itself, I guess, is the problem. So there's that. It has really good counter steering abilities. It has really good reaction abilities. And then it doesn't even allow itself to get into problems all that easily. So all in all, 14.2 is really, really impressive in the snow. Tesla AI team, you have knocked it out of the park. Good job. Nice work. Anyways, I'd like to hear what you have to say, what your thoughts are for this particular version of FSD, because this has been fun. This has been really fun. I will see you in the next one.